day 3. I'm about to launch from Blackbutt, heading towards Banarkin, Linville, more Harlan, Toogoolawah and Esk today. That's my plan. I'm sitting here with tennis legend Roy Emerson. He's giving me some tips about where I should ride. Giving me some tips about my backhand as well, which, you know, his was pretty good. Mine's pretty ordinary. I had a really interesting time yesterday afternoon. I have no footage of it, so it's a videographer fail, but just coming into Yarraman, I had a puncture on the rear tyre, and I've had a couple of punctures, or maybe one that didn't seal properly, on the front tyre with these lightweight Schwalbe G1s that I've got on the bike. And the front tyre, I've just pumped it up 3 or 4 times and it's been all good to keep rolling. The rear one, it didn't seal up. There's sealant spewing out everywhere as I'm cruising along a gravel road just outside Yarraman, Din Din Road I think it's called. And so I've pulled over the side of the road. I'm going, well, that's not sealing up. I definitely have to put the spare tube in. So I'm disassembling the bike and getting the spare tube ready and cleaning out the sealant from the tyre. Another mountain biker rolls up. His name's Paul. He says, "Have you got everything you need?" I said, "Oh, mate, I don't know yet, you know." And so he stops to help me, and he's a lovely chap. He's a really nice guy. He was riding, in fact, he'd ridden the same route that I had. He'd ridden from Nanango to Yarraman on the old stock route, and he was going to go back later on to Nanango. So in the process of trying to get this tyre back on, the tyre fit is really tight with these tyres, the Schwalbe G1s. I'm not recommending them to anybody now. There was a spoke that had either broken or was about to break, or did break, and eventually we're wrestling this tyre back on, and we just taco the rim. The broken spoke has meant that the strength is very uneven in this rim, and as we're wrestling this tyre back on, we basically bend the rim out of shape, out of usable shape. And so I thought, that's the end of my ride. I was thinking of, you know, calling Dave from out there cycling and getting a lift somehow. Paul goes, "Oh no, I've got a spare wheel back in Nanango," and so he calls up his brother Bruce, says, "Go and look in my shed. There's a wheel on the back of my old S-Works." Bruce goes and gets this wheel and comes and helps us, and we go through all the rigmarole of changing over a wheel. That had to change over the disc rotor because it was a different size, but fortunately it was a 10-speed wheel and mine's a 10-speed wheel. So brilliant people, just basically took 2 hours out of their life to help me get rolling again. So grateful to them. Paul and Bruce Garlick, legends, just champion men. And so, yeah, gave me a tyre, gave me a wheel. Obviously I'll give it all back when the ride's done, but I'm still rolling because of them. And really, yesterday could have come into a crashing halt for the whole ride, but as it is, I will be able to keep rolling and hopefully roll my way down to Toogoolawah and Esk today. Okay. Rolling through the gates at Banarkin. This is pretty much the top of the range, and from here to Linville, look, there aren't many better rides you can do, I don't think. It's just... we cross under the road twice. Here's the first one. Look, I don't know if you can see them because of all the shadows, but there are little creatures coming out of the ground here. They call this Fettler's Rest, and all these little metal creatures coming out of the ground are long dead fettlers rising to do a new day's work, according to the interpretive sign. And back up here is the captain of their crew, and his head, which they think looks a bit like an Inca head, is fashioned from the connecting drawbar for a railway carriage. The bellbirds are a childhood memory for me. We used to go on church family camps to Camp Stacey up at Cunningham's Gap, and any bushwalk around Cunningham's Gap includes the sound of bellbirds, and so I have very fond memories of that. This is McNamara's camp. One of my favourite spots on the trail. I love stopping here for a bit of a snack. We're just at the part of the trail where the valley that we're in sort of opens out a bit, and you get a bit more. It goes from being sort of a wetter, not quite rainforest, but a denser forest to a more open forest. There was a school here, McNamara's school, that they built for the families of the workers on the railway line. So pretty amazing. And of course, there's an explanatory plaque about it over there. Also, just up the hill from me, I believe this is some of the land that's owned by Peter Clyce, the Brisbane Valley Rail Trail Ranger. I'm not trying to make out that he's a large landowner, but he loves the rail trail and this alignment so much that he bought a block of land nearby. And he was telling me once when we were here that he has a vision of some cabins just up the hill from here where you could ride down, spend the night, and then ride through to Linville or up the other way and back down, whatever. But this would be a great place for a cabin for an overnight stay. Relaxing against the tank at Coal Creek today, much easier than yesterday's ride. But having said that, the last 5k's into Toogoolawah before lunch, a struggle. There's a breeze up today, and sometimes it felt like the breeze was across me and into my face, sometimes across and behind, but always there. And after lunch, leaving Toogoolawah, the steady drag up to Ottawa, also a bit of a struggle. I've got plenty left in the tank, I think. There's a tank behind me. Plenty left in the tank to get myself to Esk. It's only another. I'm in the charming and peaceful surrounds of the underpass of the Warrego Highway, just outside Ipswich. Straight ahead, I'll cross into to Diamantina Boulevard and onto the concrete path of the Brassel Bikeway. Really, pretty cool morning. It's now 20 to 1, and I'm probably be able to get on a train soon after 1. Saw some people going the other way, which is nice, a school group included, so that was good too. A guy on an e-bike. The sort of people we want to see more of on the Brisbane Valley Rail Trail, and in about 10 minutes you won't see me on the Brisbane Valley Rail Trail for a little while, because I will have finished the Kilkeevan to Kingaroy and the Brisbane Valley Rail Trail and the link trails in between. And